In this video, we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. We're going to talk about what it means, how it affects your life, and a little bit of the tools that I used in order to get past this season in my life. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't posted in a couple weeks, if y'all have seen, because I've been dealing with imposter syndrome. It literally had me sitting on my hands. And what I realized is the lies that it can tell you and how it can turn into one small little thought can turn into a big halt in your life. It wasn't because I didn't have anything to say. It wasn't because I was too busy. It was literally because I just didn't feel like what I wanted to say or what I've been saying was good enough. Now I stepped out into faith in order to build this. I've done it before and it just didn't really sit with me. But now me going through this again and trying to build something that will help other women grow, get out of their head, and move into a better direction had me feeling like a fraud. Like it had me feeling like I shouldn't be doing this. You haven't even completely healed yet. But then I realized that there's a lot that I've grown from. There's a lot that I've learned. And if it can help one person, I'm gonna do it. So if you've been feeling stuck and you haven't moved forward in your calling or something that you're just super passionate about, this video is definitely for you. Now, before we go any deeper, I need to explain what imposter syndrome is, because I know that it's being thrown out there with all these big words, and really it's just you feeling like you're fake, feeling like you're a fraud. And it's the voices that's in your head that'll tell you, you don't belong here, you're not qualified to speak to these people, you don't have a degree, and those are just ways to hinder your growth. What I realize is 3 different ways that you are entertaining imposter syndrome. Okay, now the first one is deflecting compliments. Someone can come up to you and say, "Oh girl, you look so cute today. I love your outfit." Or, "That was a really great speech that you gave today." And instead of just saying, "Thank you very much," you end up saying, "Oh girl, I just threw this all together. Like, it's no big deal." Or, "Oh, I just got lucky. Like, there is no way that I could have went up there and just like talked to a 1,000 people." That is imposter syndrome. Take the compliment. Feel good about yourself. You shy yourself away because you feel like you don't deserve those comments. You do. The second thing is the over preparer. Now, 1 and 2 is definitely me. And I've realized that I need to come out of this space. You feel like you need to read 10 books, or you need to listen to a bunch of podcasts, or get another certificate, get a degree, before you feel like you're ready to speak to somebody, to speak your mind, to show your experience. Maybe you feel like you are not articulated enough. Neither am I. I'm going to be stumbling all over this, and I'm still going to post it, because the rawness, the realness is what people are looking for. They don't need you to be perfect. I wish that I can just read a teleprompter and just spit everything else that I wanted to say. Some people that can execute it perfectly, and I'm looking at them as if they're just speaking to me, but that is not my calling. And the third thing I feel is another way that imposter syndrome shows up is when you're in a room that you've worked hard for. It could be a new job, it can be a new season in your life, and you're waiting for someone to call you out, or someone in that job to tap you on the shoulder, be like, "Excuse me, what are you doing here?" Feeling like you do not belong in a space that you have worked hard for. Any of those has made you smile or think like, "Oh yeah, I kind of do that." Just know again that it's just imposter syndrome, and it's the voices trying to make you feel like you're a fake and a fraud, but you're not. It's taking the real, good, raw things that you do in your life and convincing you that you didn't earn it. You cheated to get here. But if it's something that you've experienced yourself, you grew through, and you've lived through, that's not imposter syndrome. That's just the voices, the mean and nasty little voices in your head that's trying to hinder you from your growth. So think of it this way. Have you ever felt like those voices and the enemy never really speaks to you when you are in your low space? That it doesn't really bother you too much when you have your head down, you're not speaking your truth, and you believe the lie that whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, it's just not really for me. You live in that lie, and then you just stay stuck. But the moment you say, you know what, I am qualified to do this. You know what, I do want to change my life. That's when the volume gets turned up. And it's just nasty, telling you a whole bunch of things about yourself that you never really thought to begin with. What I wrote here is that imposter syndrome is what happens when you try to measure a God-given calling using human qualifications. You look at your past, you look at your lack of degree or lack of experience. You're looking at the bridges you burned or the years you feel like you've lost. But God never looked for a finished house to move into. He just needed the foundation. He needed the faith. And the thing that just sticks out to me is that God never calls the qualified. He qualifies the call. And for me, it's just realizing that He is going to mold me. He is going to guide me and put me in a position where I can constantly learn and grow. It's not just thrown on me to do it. Yes, you need to put in the work, but you need to allow Him to guide your footsteps. So I felt like it was just a big test. He wants to see that you are serious. He wants to see that you're going to step out in faith and let Him guide you through the rest of this process. So what I feel you need to do in order to move past all of this is to stop listening to the noise. As soon as I felt like I was making progress and I started feeling a certain way or feeling doubt and feeling anxious, one, it's an indicator that you're on your way to something big, right? It's something that this is what you're meant to do. It's harder for people to really accept it and grasp it, and I 100% agree. That was me. But when you stop listening to the chaotic noise and the lies that it tells you, and you move past that barrier, you get to look back and say, "Ooh, I accomplished that. Ooh, and I did this too. Look at me go." You start to hype yourself up, because growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens with intention, and you need to be intentional. That is another word that I've had last week. I just kept hearing intention. Be intentional. And I didn't really understood what it meant or where it fit in my life. But as I was thinking about YouTube and thinking about growth and thinking about how am I going to get, to my next stage, I needed to be intentional. That's a big lesson. So you need to let that breathe. You need to let yourself sit in the uncomfortable space of growth, and you'll see what you can accomplish. So if this is something that helped you today, please drop a comment. I hit all the great buttons, and definitely share it with somebody you feel might be going through imposter syndrome and how they can come out of this space. And again, as always, please love yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.